In Demo 2, we'd like to focus on the developer role and look at how we can leverage the Data Quality Services knowledge base in SQL Server Integration Services using the Data Quality Services Cleansing Transform. So you can see here, this is actually an integration services package, and which basically goes out and queries that same data on the staging database, and we're looking at the CRM accounts table, just as we did in the previous demo. It then takes that data and runs it through the DQS cleansing transform. So let's open up that and have a look. So you can see here you have access to the EIM demo showcase v2 knowledge base that was used earlier in the Data Quality Services client. And you can also see how you can actually map the input columns coming in from the table to the various domains, as we did in the previous demo. And then in addition, I basically take this and multicast it and then split it out into different areas. Like, so for instance, looking at invalid accounts, I have a conditional splitter here that says if the account status is equal to invalid, then true, else false. And then it basically takes any of the true fields and takes them down that path, etc. So again, some other conditional splits here, and so let's have a look at this and run this. So what we can do is essentially start this up in debugger mode, which is how a developer would run a package as they did their development, and then once it was developed and finalized, of course, it would be run on the server in a non-debug mode. But you can see here the query is started. It's pulling those records from the staging database, running it into the data cleansing transform, and again you'll be able to see there'll be some output tables for logs that catch invalid accounts and corrected company names and states that need fixing and that type of thing. So you can see here essentially the package is run successfully. So we'll just stop the debugger, and then we'll go over to the side of the using Management Studio. So this is an interface that would be used often by DBAs or IT pros. I'm just going to execute this query. You can see that we have 43 records of the 45 records that have come through, so there's a couple missing. And so I have another query which actually goes out and looks at the fixed states. So there's a couple of states that weren't completely fixed, and I can click on execute on this, and you can see that for Contoso Medical Repair and for Community Store 4, you can see that the state is actually, instead of being New York, it's New York, and then the borough, Queens, and in the case New York Bronx, are basically put in brackets. So the knowledge base doesn't know how to deal with this, and again we would need to make changes to the domain values so that New York Queens and New York Bronx were created to actually say New York as a state. And anyway, that's how this works. And so I'd like to finish up this demo, and we'll move on to the third demo, which is using Master Data Services.